dial your operator. If you need help, then dial your operator.
Hello, I'm your host, Michael Duffy, with Season 1 of Call Me for Help. Episode 9, Easy Peasy Passwords.
Before you watch this YouTube video, make sure hackers aren't watching you watch it. Listen, I'm an IT consultant with over 5,000 clients all over Canada. 90% of them were vulnerable to hackers before working with me. My name is Michael Duffy, but my clients call me Mike the Nerd. That's because when I start working with them, they never worry about nerdy tech stuff ever again. Whether they're just an individual needing help with antivirus software, backups, tech support, or a multi-million-dollar enterprise needing help with monitoring and maintaining their networks, I helped 5,000 businesses eliminate their tech worries by backing up their data properly.
Hello, I am your host, Michael Duffy, a computer and cybersecurity expert. Is your PC or Mac irritating you? Don't throw it out the window. Instead, call me for help. Welcome, I am your host, Michael Duffy. The hacker term of the day is passwords. What is a password? Well, a password is a string of characters used to verify the identity of a user during the login or authentication process. Passwords are typically used in tandem with the username, and they're designed to be only known to you, the end user, to allow you to gain access to a website, device, or application. Mike, how easy is it for a hacker to figure out my passwords? Well, at least 65% of people reuse passwords across multiple sites. The answer is there are several methods for hackers to figure out your passwords. Online services are routinely hacked. When those websites are hacked, all the usernames and passwords are sold off and usually stored in password spreadsheets. If you allow your computer or your web browser to save and or autofill your passwords for websites, your passwords can easily be revealed and collected by any malware or virus infection on your Mac or PC. So if you need help managing your passwords, reach out to us at support@don'tgethacked.ca. Commercial break is coming up right now. I hope you enjoy our episode for today. Cheers. Passwords! We love them, we hate them, they control our life. Let's review and solve your ongoing password management pains. Hi, I'm your host, Michael Duffy of Call Me for Help. In this episode, we are dishing the dirt on passwords. My team can't solve your tech issues without asking you for your passwords. Are you going to be able to give them to us? Let's find out. Commonly, we are presented with multiple sorts of password management systems with incorrect passwords or multiple wrong passwords that are written down or partially scratched out in a book. I get it. I understand how frustrating passwords are. I deal with them every day, and I deal with your passwords every day. Let's make this an easy new habit that we tackle with spring cleaning this time of year. What is your current technique for making new passwords? Where are you storing your existing passwords? These are the common hiding spots we discover for your passwords. Are you using a Rolodex? Sticky notes on a computer screen? This is the cringiest place to store your passwords, on sticky notes on your monitor for all your work buddies to see. Sticky notes on a desk wall, filing cabinet? Do you have multiple paper journals or diaries? Are you storing your passwords on a computer, spreadsheet, or Word document? Notes on your mobile phone? Okay, I get it. Notes on your phone is really convenient, but what happens if that phone is erased and you don't have a backup of your passwords? Are you using a password manager like Dashlane, 1Pass, LastPass? Where are you storing your passwords? Let's get ready. I'm going to show you why you need a place to store your passwords and why you need to be updating, maintaining your passwords at least once a year every spring, if not multiple times a year. We got to worry about hackers. We got to worry about information leaks. We have to worry about all those other places on your computer or on your mobile device you've stored a password where you thought it may be safe. Let's make sure we know where your passwords are and update those passwords regularly and have a safe place to store them. Password Management Instructions. Season 1, Call Me for Help. Episode 9, Easy Peasy Passwords. Password management. It's spring cleaning time. Step 1, make a spreadsheet or grab a paper and a pencil. Yes, a pencil, as we're going to confirm your password works. And then we're going to make it more secure. Also, grab one of those little black address books as well. We're going to need that for later. Step 2, make a list of all the websites, cloud services that you can remember that you use. These websites could be banks, investments, credit cards, cloud services, retail store point cards, social media accounts, health benefits, online schools and universities. I expect you'll have at least a dozen, probably 12 dozen in my case, right? Step 3, let's start testing those passwords. If they are correct, let's check off that account and move on to the next one. Okay, the first account I'm going to test is one of my personal Gmail accounts. So we're just going to go to gmail.com, click on my account name, and I believe I know the password for this account. So I'm just going to make sure I type it in properly and click on next. Okay, Gmail licked my password, so I know that my Gmail account is correct and I can go record that password. Step 3. Yeah, we're still step 3. Go test one of your accounts now. Did your password work? Yes? Perfect. Go write it down. Check off that account. It's time to move on to the next one. I'm going to now try to log into one of my business Gmail accounts for don'tgethacked.ca, and it tells me, okay, I'm just typing in what I think the password is, but I could have it wrong. And it told me it didn't like my password and that my password was actually changed 9 months ago. So now I have to go check my actual password spreadsheet to verify I know what it is. I try to do a password reset. It tells me I have to see my system administrator. So, password error. Oh no! The error message is to go check with my administrator. I'm now going to try another email account over at... I'll make a note of password error with this account and move on to test email account number 3. Hotmail. I'm going to go check my old Hotmail email account. So I'm just typing in my email address. And then I'm going to try a password that I think it is. And it tells me I'm wrong. So I'm going to reset my password. Step 4. If the password does not work, it's password reset time. And it's going to give me the option of sending an email to an old account I have or sending me a text message code. Step 4. For my Hotmail account, my choice for password reset is to send an email or text a code. I will choose a text message code. So I'm going to type in the last 4 digits of my cell phone number, and then Microsoft is going to text me a code so that I can change a password for this Hotmail account. I've been in this account recently, so I did have my cell phone set up as an alternative way to get in, but I don't use this email address very often, and I did not write down the password properly. So we're going to make a new password, and the new password is going to be, I'm going to show you my trick with making new secure passwords. You actually want to use a sentence, like 4 up to 10 random words in a sentence. So I'm just typing in the code here, and then it's going to ask me for a new password. Are we learning new things? Making some progress? It's a great time for a commercial break. Step 5. Let's make strong, easy passwords you can remember. You have 2 options to make strong passwords. Number 1, use a password generator. Number 2, make a sentence using 4 to 10 words. For generating a strong password, go to lastpass.com or a similar password generator, and these will be free to use, and you can choose how many characters you want your password to be. You can choose upper and lower and special characters and all that jazz. To generate a password, you can go to lastpass.com and go to their password generator and choose how many characters your password needs to be, and if you need special characters or upper and lower case, and it will automatically generate random passwords for you. I do use this tool a lot. The more characters in your password, the stronger it is. The strength of your password is called entropy. As you can see on the LastPass website, I'm actually using the text box and I'm typing in words. This is password method 2, using random words to make a sentence. This makes passwords very easy to memorize because you can visually remember the picture the sentence makes. Making new passwords. Method number 2. Use a sentence made of random words. This equals an easy peasy password you can remember. As you can see, I'm on the LastPass website and I'm not using their password generator. I'm actually just typing in words to make a sentence password. So typically for a sentence password, the minimum amount of words you want to use for a sentence password would be 4. That still gives you crazy amount of security. Like as password sentence, 4 more words is gonna take a computer to guess 550 days at 1,000 guesses per second for just 4 common words in a sentence password. Of course, I would suggest having more than 4 words in your sentence, but of course, it's going to take you a time to formulate a sentence password for all the different online accounts you use, because you want to make sure all your password sentences are different. If you compare that to a random generated password is going to be much easier for a computer to guess, like a couple of days at 1,000 guesses per second. A sentence password is more complex because it's using different words and it's harder to guess. Let's review password strength. How strong should my new password be? Okay, let's review this. Mike, how strong does my password need to be? Well, if you use 4 words to make a sentence password, that's going to take a computer 550 years at 1,000 guesses a second to figure out your password. That's super strong. Okay, we're still going over password review. So we looked at a 4-word or a sentence password and how strong that was. Alternatively, if you're using a random password such as whatever, and you've switched letters to numbers or you've changed up the characters, this is extremely hard for a human to remember, but you would think it's tough for a computer to guess. Unfortunately, it's a very weak password and it's very easy for the computer to guess. So if you just take a normal word and change characters around, generally 3 days at 1,000 guesses per second. So the entropy on a random password is much lesser than the entropy or the password strength on a sentence password. Regardless of the password method you use to make your new passwords, whether or not you're generating a password or creating a sentence password using multiple words, you want to ensure you are not reusing passwords. Never ever reuse a password. Still on step 5, I just want to reiterate to never reuse a password. Password reuse attack is very common. When cloud services or websites you go to get hacked, they almost always spill your passwords to the hackers. Those hackers then resell those passwords. So if you're using a really strong password and you're reusing it on multiple websites, you're just insecure, and we can't fix that. So we need to make sure you have a strong password that is unique for every cloud service you log into. Okay, you got a new password figured out for that online service. Awesome. Let's record it with the date on your spreadsheet or that piece of paper you grabbed. As you can see, I've currently opened a Google Sheets spreadsheet. I thought that'd be the easiest way to show you that I am recording the passwords I have discovered for these online accounts. So remember, the first Gmail I tried, I knew that password. And then when I went to my business Gmail, it told me I had the incorrect password. So I'm going to make a note that I have to check with the administrator and get that password changed and recorded. And then when it came to my third email account, my Hotmail account, I was able to get a text. I was able to hit reset password, and I received a text message code, and that text message code allowed me to go and make a new sentence password for my Hotmail account. So I'm just recording all those passwords into the spreadsheet. I advise you to do the same. Write them down on a spreadsheet or write them down on a scrap piece of paper. And we're going to do this same procedure for all of your accounts. So step 7 is really rinse and repeat. I expect a normal computer user is going to have at least 12 passwords. In my case, I probably have 12 dozen or more passwords. So this is a little bit of a task when it comes to spring cleaning, but this is a service that my company, don'tgethacked.ca, does offer to do for customers. So if you are on our monthly package, we actually will do this for our customers and make sure once a year we're validating your passwords, testing them, and setting up new passwords, and ensuring we are not practicing password reuse. Step number 8. Yay, we've made it there. Once you've recorded all of your accounts on your piece of paper or your spreadsheet, now consider changing or updating any weak account passwords that you already knew. So we just went through and stepped through resetting all your passwords that you didn't know. Now if you compare the new strong passwords to your old existing ones, do you want to change any of your old passwords? If so, change them and record the new password. Okay, so I've gone through all the steps of checking your account password, recording it if it's correct, resetting your account password if you don't know what the password is anymore, and recording, generating, making a new password, either generated or sentence password, and recording all your passwords. So we're gonna do this once a year, right? Every March, every spring cleaning time, right after spring break, do your spring cleaning, right? Okay, so those are the steps to go through it. Now, if it seems like a monumental task, I understand. However, I do this for a living. So if it's too big of a task for you for yourself or for your organization, if you got a lot of user accounts, a lot of passwords, hire us. Our monthly contract is all-inclusive remote support, meaning, depending on how big your organization is, go to our website, don'tgethacked.ca, set up a Zoom meeting, or send us a message. We will give you a price for your organization, and we will maintain all your passwords for you, make sure they're secure, and make sure they get updated on a regular basis. All-inclusive means all-inclusive. Every remote service is included in a low monthly price, and you're not tied into a long contract. It's month to month. As long as you love us, we're happy to get paid. So now we're going to go on to password managers. So the reason I had you record all your passwords down on a piece of paper, I want you to go through all your passwords, write them down on that piece of paper, write them in that journal, write them in that spreadsheet. Once you know all your passwords are correct. Step 9. Remember that little black address book? I asked you to get it in step 1? Go grab it. Now use the little black address book and rewrite all your accounts in it. This is going to help your brain remember the passwords you just generated, and if you're doing this on a regular basis, it's going to be easier to remember your passwords and when you change them. Also, the black book is really convenient. You can, if it's your second copy of your passwords, you can store it somewhere safe, like in your safe or in the safety deposit box, or mail it to a family member. Store these little black address books in safe places. Wait a minute, Mike! You want me to rewrite all my passwords down again? Yes, I do. Guess what? You're going to record them in that little black address book I asked you to grab in step 1. Step 1 was get a piece of paper, get a spreadsheet, and get a little address book. So with that address book, this is what you're going to do. You're going to rewrite down all the accounts, all your email addresses, or usernames for those accounts, and all the passwords that you know are correct. And what we're going to do is we're going to store that little black book in a safe place. Maybe you have a safe at home or a safety deposit box at the bank, or regardless, we want to make sure you have a full set of your past accounts and passwords in case something happens to you. So in case something happens to you, we want your husband, your spouse, family member to know where your book of passwords is, so they can always take over your accounts and make sure things get taken care of properly. So once you have all your passwords written down on your spreadsheet or on your piece of paper, go write them down in your little black address book right now. And it's going to take a couple of minutes, yes. And we're going to do this once a year, every spring cleaning, yes. You have all your passwords now verified, tested, and on paper, and in that little black book. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the optional assignment, which is using a password manager. There is a lot of password managers on the internet, and some users find them convenient. Some users prefer using a password manager software like LastPass, OnePass, Bitwarden, etc. Let's take a look at that type of software. And easy to use, because you're using a piece of software and you're typing in all your passwords. So the piece of software is remembering all your passwords and managing them for you and telling you how old they are and if they're secure or not. And the way you access that password manager is by using one master password. So I'm going to show you a couple options and an example of using a password manager. I'm not getting paid for using a password manager. I use alternative methods for storing my passwords, but a lot of my customers appreciate using a password manager. So this is the optional step with your spring cleaning. So let's go to those videos now. So we're just going to try to sign up for an individual account and just see if it is free and what the restrictions on the free account are. I'm in Chrome. So Dashlane's asking me to do this step, so I'm allowing it. I'm already signed into Google. So I'm going to type in my personal email. Okay, so I had mentioned when you're using a password manager, you have to have a master password. So we need to set up a strong master password. And I'm not going to show you what my master password is going to be. However, as I said, 4 to 10 words. So you want a sentence password that is 4 to 10 words. Okay, let me see. What am I going to use? Okay. So we've created the Dashlane account. As you see, most of these programs have wizards like this. So we've created an account, got a green check mark for that. Add your first password. Okay. And I'm going to add this one in. And I'm just going to follow the instructions. Got it. Here's the plan. Open the website, blah, blah, blah. Just follow the instructions. Open the website you selected. Number 2, log in by entering your email password. 3, click save, and Dashlane offers to store your login info. Perfect. So we're going to go click on Gmail. And I can tell it's signed me out already. So I'm just typing in my current Gmail password. And then, okay, we'll just click next. Okay, so we're gonna call this personal Gmail, Mike Duffy, BSC. Okay, see? So this is, we're back in the Dashlane password manager, and we've got one password so far, my personal one. So what we're going to do is hit next and close, and I'm going to click add new password, and I will add PayPal, and then okay, I got an email from Dashlane, which says, nice to meet you, let's get going. Using the internet is about to get easier than ever. Start with these 2 things. Step 1, first, save 5 passwords and start autofilling. Step 2, then add the app on your phone to take your passwords everywhere. Open Dashlane. So you just need to go back and finish. I need to go back into the account and finish setting up the account and adding more passwords to it. I don't know if it shows me. It's not asking for any money right now, so I would just start filling it in and then seeing if at what point it tells you can't add any more passwords. So if I go back to, I'm going to sign out of Gmail, and I'm just going to show you that it will autofill it for me. If I hit sign in, hit right there, Dashlane's right here, it knows me, and it's automatically going to log in.
Hi, my name is Trudy Chapman and I work for a condominium corporation. We are privately managed and I have an extremely busy office and I'm a one-person show. When it comes to computers, I have good working knowledge, but as for how they're set up, it's very limited. In 2018, I needed some help with my computer and what a godsend. They came to this site, set up my computer, did all the backups, all the work I needed, and I've been using them ever since. They're always quick whenever I have an issue. I crash my computer, I don't know how or why or what, and thank goodness in a day they had me up and running and life back to normal. So I just want to say they've worked really well for me and I would highly recommend them to anybody who's looking for assistance with their computer.
Here's a question from Jacob. Was there any sort of big change on or around February 19th? According to our logs, that's around the time things started looking weird. Server and database migration, changing of all passwords, that sort of thing. I don't think it would explain why it stopped our software from working automatically, only for it to work fine when it ran manually. Thank you. Thanks for the text. Your response has been sent. Hi Jacob, it's Mike here from don'tgethacked.ca. Thanks for the details regarding what breaches you have noticed. Number 1, server and database migration. Number 2, changing of all the passwords on the server. From my initial impressions and assessment of this environment, it has clearly been breached by remote access on February 19th. February 19th was a Saturday. This business is physically closed on Saturday. All changes made to the server would have come from remote access. So the breach was over 2 weeks ago and your client only reported software irregularities now? My initial findings. Number 1, passwords are freely emailed, texted from one personal device to another personal device. Number 2, while reviewing their emails for password reset email notifications, the practice of resetting emails often is common. You can typically find evidence in the email inbox every time they have requested a password reset for a cloud service, website, online banking, etc. Number 3, password policy is sloppy with password reuse common. I tested all their passwords to all the cloud services they used to confirm if they were still valid. Number 4, most of all passwords are similar with one character difference, likely due to frequent password resets. I will be sending the full detailed breach report once I have completed an inventory of all the equipment at the site. I am under the assumption that you had backups and are able to restore the server to February 18th, 19th operations? Sincerely, cyber expert Michael Duffy.